Hey, how's it going, y'all? Welcome back to the Gil Podcast. This podcast is about me, Gil, and the things that I'm currently thinking about. Hope you guys and gals are enjoying yourself. I had a really great time this past couple of weeks. It was my birthday weekend. I think the last episode was probably the birthday episodes and whatnot. It was great. I got to enjoy company with my wife and just hang out. We had an amazing dinner. It was great. And I always like hanging out with my wife. She's like my best friend. Not like my best friend. She is my best friend. And it was weird admitting that a couple of years ago. I remember, not that I remember, I know I had several people in my life who, kind of hinted. Stop saying kinda. You know what you're trying to say, Gil. I'm coaching myself live on the podcast. There were some people that were in my life telling me that my wife cannot be a best friend. And at that time, I kind of understood it. But then thinking about it, these people have modeled the modern relationship through 90s and 80s TV shows, how, Married with Children, you have, The Simpsons, you have Family Guy, Martin, stereotypically in these sitcoms, TV shows, or whatever have you, the husband and wife, they're always at odds. The husband and wife are always at odds. They're never truly on one channel, mental, spiritual channel. And you can't always be agreeable. There are times where you're going to have to, separate yourself from your significant other. I mean, that's what humanity is. That's what your existence is. And I don't want to start the podcast all boring, but I just wanted to say, like, my wife is my best friend. Like, it's great. It's something that wasn't like that at the beginning. I'm pretty sure we were friends beforehand, and then we became partners, boyfriend and girlfriend. Then we got married. But it's such a beautiful thing how we've become even more closer as we have been together. And she is even more of a best friend now in my life. And it's great. And I'm so happy that I can even say that. So it feels great. So I wanted to start this podcast episode about relationships. I know I was supposed to make a couple more relationship podcast episodes. And I know if you're tuning in to this episode and expecting me to talk about content creating, I do talk about content creating, but also this is the Gil Podcast, and this podcast is about Gil and the things that he's currently obsessed with. So these are podcast episodes where I just kind of I'll be going through something, or I'll talk to somebody and they throw this idea at me. So I had this thought after having a conversation with a gentleman, and it was about relationships. And this is what I told him. So after we talked, because a lot of people just tend to rush at me and ask me for advice. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have an advice to give that is spontaneous, that is genuine. So this is the advice that I gave him. It was relationships. It's like climbing a mountain. And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, but you have to hear what I'm saying. Relationships are like climbing a mountain. Outwardly looking at relationship, it seems to be like a team effort. You have your partner, y'all, 2, 3, whatever situation you have going on. It always seems as if a relationship is like a partnership, give and take. You bring this to the table. This person brings a table. This person brings a house, whatever your situation is. But in my experience and in my opinion, just hear me out here. Relationships is like climbing a mountain because it's a solo job in a way. You have to want to get to the top, even with a team sports. I'm not big on sports, but I love sport documentaries. And Kobe Bryant is one of my favorite athletes of all time, one of them. And notoriously, he's known to go harder than the rest of his teammates. His teammates seem to have like a cutoff point where they say, where they display that, hey, this is enough for me. I'm good where I'm at. But Kobe Bryant always wants to go to the stratosphere. And that's what I mean, where they're a team, they're a basketball team. But one person on the team is going a little bit harder than the other to get to the top. Your partner has their own path up a mountain as well. Like, you will go to the top. You would want to go to the top. They would want to go to the top as well, but they have a different route. And it's okay. Like, your partner might take a little longer. You might take a little longer, but it's all about wanting to win, wanting to get to the top, whatever top situation that is for you, whatever is the top for you. You have to get there. And there's always going to be a point where you get super comfortable, right? You are trying, you're building yourself up in a relationship. You're climbing up the steep mountain, and then you stop, and then you just chill, and then you just vibe out, and you just basically say, this is it for me. Now, what that illustrates is you don't like challenges. And I was in a relationship so many years ago where this person did not like challenges. They did not like any adversity. If life was throwing them anything bad, they would just give up and fold and pack their bags and just go right back down the mountain. And it's so easy to go down the mountain. It is, you've heard that analogy before. And if you think about it, it can apply for anything. So this person would just go right down the mountain and just totally just give up. Mind you, me, who want the relationship, my experience, my humanity to build and grow, even without this person, I'm going up the mountain because it's a solo journey. And being in a relationship is beneficial for you by yourself because it helps you become more empathetic, helps you become more of yourself. The longer you are in a relationship, the more attuned, in my opinion, you are with yourself. The more you know who you are. I know some people say, well, that's not true. You have to find yourself first. You can't find yourself in somebody else. No, you find yourself in adversity. You find yourself going through something. You can't go through anything if you're by yourself. Okay, maybe you can. Maybe you are going to school. Maybe you are, going through a fitness journey, but there's no adversity other than somebody else or other people. You need some type of friction to build character. That's the only way for you to forge a sword, to forge anything. It has to get banged and banged and banged and banged again. Life it's tough, and everything that is tough always is worth it at the end. After the smith bangs the heck out of this sword, a shiny katana is formed. A shiny sword is formed. You're a new person due to the adversities that you have gone through. And climbing up a steep mountain is tough. And like I said before, you have to want to do it. And there's nothing like beating the odds and going up there. The fact is that everything you want to do is hard one way or another. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be Michelle Obama, and everybody would be Oprah Winfrey and Stedman. Everybody would be these successful, happy couples, right? If it were so easy. But it's not easy. There would be so many successful relationship stories. And that would be something that nobody would want to strive for because it's so easy. It's going to sound so controversial. It's so easy to be obese, right? It's really easy. You can just go to the store, and I'm talking to myself here. It's easy to go to the store, buy some Twizzlers and eat Twizzlers and edit videos and stay here at home, not going out, not socializing with people, not building a community, not doing the things that I want to do. It's really easy. It's really easy to get bogged down and say that I want to build my YouTube career. I want to build my YouTube channel, but I'm doing things for other people because it's so easy. It's easy for me to contact clients, to get paid for consultations. It's really easy for me to, do photo shoots for people every weekend. But it's a lot harder for me to want to build myself up. It's easy for me to build other people up. I can preach to people all freaking day, but to build myself up, to do what I have to do for myself, it's a lot harder. In relationships, I said that climbing up a mountain, it's a solo journey. Because you can't climb up a steep mountain pulling somebody else up and they don't want to go. They don't want to move up. And climbing the mountain, I feel like, is the best analogy for anything because it's tough. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. And like I said, if you reach a certain point and you're like, okay, this is it for me, that's high enough. You're that couple where it's like, we're just going to have kids and we're going to get an apartment and we're going to be nice and we're going to stick to this job and we're going to stop right here. Totally fine. But are you fine? You just found a comfortable spot that works for you and where you are at your current state, your mental, spiritual, whatever state. You pick that moment in time and you want to stay there. But ask yourself, is this where you thought you would be? Are you comfortable where you're at? No. I mean, you could be lying to yourself. The mind is so freaking powerful. You can tell yourself that this is totally okay. I was reading this science journal essay. Oh, me and my wife were. And they were talking about childbirth and how the mind is so powerful that it lies to the mother after the fact of her giving birth. Like it sometimes lies to her to make her forget how painful it was. That's how powerful the mind is. So your mind can quite literally lie to you to make you feel more comfortable, to make everything look so nice and rosy and feel good. And in a relationship, you can quite literally be in the worst predicament, but you're fine with it because your mind tells you that, hey, this is okay. Don't worry about it. I was doing a bike ride with a group a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty tough. It was really, really tough. This is a faster group, and I had to put on some weight. I'm not gonna lie, and because it's been a while since I worked out. I'm still focused on the wrong things. Like I love creating content for other people, but it doesn't give me enough time for myself to do my own content and work full time. So I'm going to try to focus on that. Focus on my health right now. There's nothing wrong with where I am, but I just feel like I know I can do better. But back to my story. So I was cycling with this faster group, and they were fast. They were really, really fast. And I keep trying to catch up. I kept trying to catch up, kept trying to catch up to them. And I just kept pedaling, kept going. I'd catch up to them, but I won't slow down. I didn't want to slow them down, right? I just kept pedaling and just kept going to the point where the guys were looking at me. Hey, we thought you'd stop all the time. I was like, oh, what do you mean? Yeah, normally somebody of your stature, your height, your body mass, you'd stop all the time and you get off the bike and complain or something and slow us down. And the thing was, I did tell them that I didn't want to slow them down, but realistically it was I'm not stopping because this is not where I want to be. Because the minute I stop, I'm not going anywhere. It's not benefiting me at all because if I have a goal that I want to reach, I want to catch up to them, catch up to the front of the group, and I stop, the group isn't going to wait for me. Metaphorically speaking, the group is still moving because they have their own path, they have their own destiny, they have their own ambitions and goals. Why should they stop for me when their light is green? Why should I let them slow down their pace in their life? For what? Because I want to? No, that's selfish. And that's what I mean about in the aspect of relationships. You have to be able to understand that you can't be a good partner if you're not a good person. And the only time you can be a good person is if you fully understand yourself. So that's why I'm going back to the point and the idea that you have to climb the mountain up by yourself, build yourself up, build the endurance, build the mental tenacity, the skill, the wit. Know who you are. Know what your weaknesses are. Know what your strengths are. Understand who you are and be forged. You're forging yourself, basically. Forge yourself to become that new person, that new being, that new a shiny sword to be wielded by your partner or whoever. Once you get to the top, there's really nothing that can stop you. There's really nothing. The only thing that you can do while you're up there is find another mountain. Don't leave your partner behind, of course not. But the way that life goes, there's really nothing that somebody else who succeeds. This is a little bit different for everybody. Some people might just get envious of their partner as their partner progresses in their, life journey. But in my experience, when my partner does better, I want to match. When I do better, my partner wants to match as well. And my victory is her victory and vice versa. So you have to do better. You have to be a better person, because once you're a better person for your partner, and your partner just becomes it's such a weird feeling. If your partner understands who they are and understand who you are, them leveling up or you leveling up is the best thing in the world. I was speaking to this person that I recently just met, and they took a gander at my social media, I guess. And this person wanted to talk. This is like the main reason why I kind of wanted to record this podcast, just to share this story. So we went to a bar, sat down for a little bit. I don't really know this person, and they were saying that, hey, man, you must have it all figured out. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? It's hard. Life is a journey. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to learn something new. Like, he's like, yeah, man, so happy belated. I'm like, thanks, bro. He's like, yeah, we gotta work together and figure how to live life. I'm like, it was such a weird vibe. This is the things that this person was saying. I kind of felt like this person wanted to say something to me about their relationship. So I asked always, is everything okay at home? What's going on, man? How's everything going?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked, because I just don't know how you do it.
So basically had the same job for about 18 years in the same position, and 2 kids. He doesn't live with the kids because of financial reasons. And he is asking me for advice about move up with the partner or move into with the partner and move up in life. But she doesn't know, with the lack of funds and lack of knowledge. I just feel like you know what to do. I just feel like you always have a plan. So I asked, like, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. I need you to figure that out for me. Well, flat out, I said, well, your partner, you should be having this conversation with your partner. You should be having this conversation with yourself. But since you asked me, I'd ask you to find a goal that you can reach that will be beneficial for your kids and your partner, but most importantly, yourself. A goal that will build you up to be the person that you think the people around you will be proud of, but most importantly, that you would be proud of. And I'd say, hey, you've had this job for about 18 years and you have really nothing to show for it other than you're loyal to a company, but you live with roommates and your credit is bad. I'd say find some like financial literacy courses, or just get help from a financial advisor. But you not living with your kids is eating you up inside because you feel that life has failed you. But honestly, life will give you everything that you want or need. All you have to do is just ask for it and go for it. Every bad thing and I said it in a nice way, but the way I forgot how I said it, but I pretty much said every bad thing that you're experiencing in your life right now is because of things that you've done, that you've allowed into your life, like these bad habits of being afraid of change. I've been working several different jobs. Every year, I pretty much have a new job. Every year, I probably have a new client, a new extracurricular activity that is being monetized, opening up a new studio or new friends. I'm not averse to change. Like what's the word, averse? I'm not opposed to change because I understand that change is good. I love climbing mountains. I love being challenged. I love adversity. That means I'm alive. I love it. I love a challenge because I get to try it again. If I fail, I know that life will throw it again at me. Once I pass that test, I know that I would basically move on to the next stage. I would say, find that goal. Do you think we should start a business? Hell no. Don't start a business. Everything that happens on social media isn't for everybody. Like, not everybody should be a content creator. Not everybody should be a podcaster. Hell, I say find ways to express yourself and do what you would love to do. But first, you have to, like, my main thing was take care of your kids. Figure out how are you going to create a healthy and conducive life for your children. Like, that should be like a ticker. But not everybody thinks the same. And it was an interesting conversation because when I left from this unwarranted, unauthorized, non-professional therapy session, I started to think about, okay, what gave the inkling that I am an authority figure? So what I started to do was take like an inventory of my life, inventory of my social media. And I realized, okay, great. He sees the way I interact with my wife. I'm productive, doing a lot of things, goal oriented. But the thing is, this is an old podcast I did maybe like 2 episodes ago, where I talked about how me succeeding or me, climbing mountains, in my mind, I used to feel really bad because once I get to the top of a specific mountain, reach a specific goal, I felt bad plotting the flag and, praising. And it's like, hey, look at me, I climbed the mountain, I made it. And she kind of like reinforced that idea onto me. But I kind of, I went through therapy and I'm going back soon, but it tried to re-enter that in my mind where it's like, I can't, showcase my wins, my W's online if I have people like her on my social media feeling bad. But then again, it's like the jerk in me is saying, well, I'm not the one who had kids at like 18, or I'm not the one who had kids at, 30 and not married. I'm not the one who doesn't want to change. I'm not the one who is scared of adversity. I'm not the one who doesn't have friends. I'm not the one who's not able to network. You have to want to get out of your circumstances. It's pretty much it. And I felt bad because I kind of felt like I didn't give any advice. But then again, some of the answers to some questions are as simple as doing it. Like somebody knocks on your door, you can either do 2 things, actually 3. And I'll tell you what I would do. So somebody knocks on your door, it could be adversity. You can be bold and take it on by just swinging that door open, or you can just ignore it. Or I'll tell you what I would do. I'd first look through the peephole, see what it is, and attack on it head on by being prepared, understanding who or what is at the door. Some people, they just kind of are afraid. And instead of, opening the door or seeing who's at the door, they would just blatantly ignore it. Music full blast or pretend to be asleep. I'm not friends with this person. Just somebody that I randomly just met. But not to be disrespectful, but quite literally, this person is just taking a nap while the answers are knocking on the door. All the issues are there. You just have to acknowledge it. But this person is just blatantly ignoring it and wants me to open the door. But that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. And that's why I also started the episode talking about mountains. You have to get to the top by yourself. You have to build character. You have to go through adversity in order to succeed. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this quick little episode. Let me know what y'all think. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. Did I mess up on my phrasing? Was my analogies right? Do I sound stupid? If you made it this far, hit me up in the DMs. Shout out to Leandra and Ashley and Anna, who have been hitting me up, and my boy Vince, who listened to the podcast, and Jared. Jared Spink. Thank you guys so much for always inspiring me to, record this podcast episodes and just create. But all in all, thank y'all so much. I love you guys. Be sure to DM me and let me know what y'all thought about this podcast episode and what my next episode should be about. Should I do more content related stuff? Should I go back to that? But talking about life and relationships is so fun and easy. I love the analogies. It kind of brings me back to my pastor preaching days when I used to preach. I'm no longer religious. I'm kind of just more on the it is what it is vibes. It is what it is. That's where I'm at right now. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Again, DM me. Hit me up. Love you guys. Peace.